I want you to understand that the brain is a very tricky part of the body. The brain can fool you. It's your own brain, but it'll fool you. And the thing that you can do is to always try and understand that your brain will always create thoughts which can build you and which can ruin you. So it's very important when we know how to remove the thoughts which are useless. And that means that you shouldn't always think like everything you think is true. And at the same time, you should always be cautious that whatever you think could be everything. When people say that your thoughts create your reality, it does, because your thoughts create the feelings that you feel. And when you feel something, you always take a certain action. When you take a certain action, you always have a result. The results that you're having is your reality. So when we say that your thoughts create your reality, what we mean is that thinking was the beginning of this thing. Then after you thought about this, you had the feelings because of the thing that you had. And from that feeling, you started taking certain actions. And from that action, you had the results. So whenever you have the results that you don't like, if you want to create new actions that you want to take, then you need to revisit your thinking. Your thinking will create your reality. So do the reverse. If you're having the results today that you don't like, go back to the thinking. What are you thinking about the circumstance that you're having? Right? If you always think negative, you're always going to have negative results. I've had people say, always think positive. And I agree. Try your best to stay positive. And if you're not positive, try just to be neutral, but not negative. Because when you're in a neutral perspective, you're like an observer. You're not happy, you're not sad, but you're much better than being negative. So pray around not being, when you don't feel like you're being positive and you don't want to be negative, just stay in the middle. Be like an observer. An observer is always like knowing, could be right, could be wrong. And observe your blind, because your thoughts will create your reality.